Got a special guest today, Panda Richards.
Hi.
I'm Harold Richards, and we just watched Mandy with obviously Nicolas Cage
With Nicolas
and
Cage.
some other people.
Mm-hmm.
I saw in the credits Elijah Wood was like a producer,
Mm-hmm.
so he has more money than he knows what to do with, so he's like Nicolas Cage
He has really
movies.
good
Like,
taste in movies. Not necessarily ones he's been in, but like,
oh, have you met him?
well, no, but I've watched some interviews he did,
Uh,
and where he talks about movies he likes. We have similar tastes.
oh, okay. So you're saying that you have good taste
Duh.
in movies?
I'm the one who chose Mandy for the Gauging Cage.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what a thrilling
It was.
movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some corn dogs
Mm-hmm.
because Nicolas Cage is a corn dog, so it's appropriate. And I mean that as a compliment.
So do we just talk about like the plot of the movie and then dissect, or?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me pull up my thingy here. Pull up your thingy too.
I don't know where it is.
And I took some notes as well. Because
How do I?
let's turn your volume down.
It's
and,
down.
And go to Jink. And then
Oh, I look huge.
what? What are you talking about? Yeah. Then let me get my notebook over here. Yeah. So what's up? Hopefully you've seen Mandy before.
If not, you should go watch it. It's probably definitely one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
It's really good. It's totally different and interesting than pretty much any other movie I've ever seen. Well, maybe not any other movie, but it definitely has a unique approach. There's going to be spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and pause it now. Go watch it, and this will be uploaded, so you can watch this later. Yeah, it's worth watching. I liked
It's
it.
definitely worth watching. It's different. It's in the genre of acid horror. Um,
Yeah. And now that we got spoilers out of the way, there's like a lot of acid in it. Like they do a bunch of acid,
Lots and lots of hallucinogenics.
which is dope. There's not like a lot of movies like that these days, I guess. Or I guess there's some. I don't know. I mean, I don't really watch like scary movies. I get scared. There's a new Halloween movie out.
I know. I want to see it really bad.
Really?
Mhm.
Killian told me this story. This is guy I know. He was living in New York City, and he went and saw Halloween or one of the Halloween movies by himself, like in theaters, because I don't know, he's a fucking weirdo like that. And he was talking about. Oh, by the way, he told me this story right after I told him that like I don't do scary movies. He's like, oh man, like I saw Halloween by myself, and I went home at my apartment in New York by myself in like this little like tiny apartment that's like dark and cramped and like all that stuff. And he's like, I kept just seeing Michael Myers. Is that the guy?
Yeah.
He's like, I just kept like seeing him. He's like, I got like a really vivid imagination, and I'm a very visual like imaginationer. And he said just like that, by the way. And he's like, I kept seeing him, and it fucking like scared the shit out of me. I was like, that's awful. Why would you do that to yourself? He's like, because it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like scary movies. I haven't seen one that made me scared in a long time.
Yeah.
So-
well, then he also went back and just told me that he just saw the new one, and basically the same
So the plot of Mandy.
thing
Hang on, I think my corn dog's ready.
happened. Yeah, I can talk about it, and I took some notes too. So, I get sidetracked really easy. So I like to start from the beginning, or I try to, and kind of work through it. The first thing I noticed was that Elijah Wood was a producer, so that was pretty cool, I guess. If you don't know him, he's a Hobbit. That's pretty much the only thing he's ever done. No, I was kidding. He did this really cool, like short video, kind of like a music video. It was like a tribute to the Beastie Boys, and it was him and Danny McBride and Seth Rogen, I think that's his name, and they were like the Beastie Boys, and then it had a bunch of like comedian like cameos in it. Will Ferrell was in it. They have like a pee fight where they all like whip out their dicks and they like pee at each other. That was really cool. Um, yeah, so he did that too. So check that out. I think that's called Beastie Boys Revisited. I think. Have you ever seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
I have not.
It's fucking dope. It's like 15 minutes long or something like that, and it's like the Beastie Boys, but it's Elijah Wood, Danny McBride, and Seth Rogen as the Beastie Boys, and they get all fucked up and they start like tearing up the town, and like I said, there's a bunch of celebrities and stuff in it. It's really fucking funny. Jack Black's in it.
Oh, Jack Black.
Mm.
So we enter the movie Mandy.
It's real slow.
It is.
It's creepy. You meet Mandy pretty early on, but they don't tell you that she's Mandy. I feel like you don't hear her name actually until I already said spoiler alert. So again, last chance to turn it off. Spoilers happening right now. I don't think you actually hear her name until after she burns and dies.
Maybe not.
I don't think they say it until after she's
It's
dead.
implied in the name.
Yeah, but you don't know that for sure. I mean, I was thinking about it. I don't know. I think so.
We start the movie and it's Nicolas Cage working as a lumberjack
Yeah.
in what looks to be the Pacific Northwest, somewhere in Oregon or maybe California.
In 1983.
In 1983.
Mm-hmm.
He catches a helicopter ride home to his lover, Mandy. They're not married.
Yeah, and I think he drives a Bronco.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% that it's a Bronco, but it looks like a Bronco.
It's corn dogs.
Oh yeah, we got corn dogs.
Yeah, we got corn dogs.
Yeah. We also got little Vindaloo and Chibi Maru back here.
Mm-hmm.
They're hanging out. What's up, y'all? Stay good. Little Vendy's been in every episode. Mm-hmm. It's only been me and Vendy that have been in every episode up to this point. It was Elijah, but he couldn't make it tonight. He had some family stuff last minute.
I'm taking his place. Talking about my favorite Nic Cage movie. So anyway, he goes home, and it just kind of shows them like they're very in love. You can tell he's kind of in awe by her.
Yeah, they're kind of like nerdy, dark people.
Yeah, he asked her, she's painting like a very far out, very 80s looking, fantastical painting. The kind of shit you'd see like.
And right before that, you see her smoking some shit. And again, this is a very psychedelic movie, a lot of psychedelic drugs. And it doesn't look like weed either. Like, it looks like peyote or some kind of, spiritual, herbal, psychedelic thing. So she's, like, tripping, like, out in the woods.
And, it just shows them, like, watching an old 80s. It's very cottagecore, like the cottage they live in, like an old 80s movie.
Yeah, we saw some boobies early on.
Always a good thing.
I think it was a painting. There's little clips of animation in this movie that are really cool. And you see boobs, like, multiple times. So that's a plus. Which actually, so there are boobs in Vampire's Kiss, which Elijah and I did that one. But you've seen that movie. There's boobs in it.
There's boobs.
Little boobs, but, boobs. And then the other one we did was Raising Arizona, and I don't think you actually see any tits in Raising Arizona. So 2 out of 3 so far.
This
so
is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah?
You want a bite?
No, I'm good. You dipping that in mustard? You ever put A1 on your corn dog?
Hell no.
I put A1 on my corn dog.
Anyway.
You got boobies. She smokes stuff and paints. She says that her favorite planet is Jupiter because the surface of its atmosphere is a storm that's been raging for 1,000 years, which I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that's fucking dope.
Another fun fact about Jupiter.
And the eye is so huge that it could swallow the Earth.
It rains diamonds when it rains on Jupiter.
Like little diamonds?
I don't know. Never been.
Is that what that song Drops of Jupiter is about? Drops of Jupiter in her hair, yeah. Or Drops of Jupiter like diamonds?
Maybe.
It's the one where the best soy latte I ever had was you, or
It's
something
an
like
awful
that.
song.
I love that song.
Well, you fucking would.
She eats fried chicken, and best friend always sticking up for you. Yeah, Jupiter.
So they go to bed, and you can already tell like the lighting is changing.
Well, we're still talking. I'm still on the planets.
Oh, okay.
She likes Jupiter because the storm. Nic Cage likes Saturn, but then he changes his mind to something called Collectus, which I don't know what that is, but they say that it eats planets.
I think it's
So
Galactus.
Galactus,
Mhm.
so like a black hole or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Then you were saying there's like art stuff, and what were you saying?
Oh, I was talking about how like they're having this conversation in bed. You already start to get a very trippy vibe from it. With the lighting, it's like changing from blue to red in a very hallucinogenic way. So they're already
Yeah.
setting the stage for
Yeah.
that.
Well, she's like walking around in the woods, and it's all red,
Mm-hmm.
which is like creepy, and she also looks really creepy, like herself.
She's just a creepy looking
She
person.
looks like a vampire, like she's really pale, and she's got like black, thin, straight hair, and her eyes are real big and creepy, and she's got like this weird looking scar thing on her face, and she just looks like creepy as hell. Which is maybe why the cult people were so drawn to her, because she, they make eye contact, and he was like,
You're skipping ahead. So
yeah.
the next cutscene, it's all red. She's walking down a dirt road, and everything's red. Everything's tinted red, and a van drives by, and enters the it's not Children of God, but what are they called? What's the cult called?
Children of the New Dawn.
Children of the New Dawn. and
right before that, she found a little baby deer in the woods, and it made her really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And she also talked about how her dad like killed a bunch of
That's later.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she catches his eye. She looks back. They kind of make eye contact. And he's like, I have to have her.
Yeah.
To these other, and they honestly, most of his like little, what is it called? Children of the New Dawn people, they look like they would belong in like The Hills Have Eyes. They're very, or like Wrong Turn. Like stringy, like fucked up looking people.
Yeah, they're all like strung out. They look like little white crackheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also even before that, so to kind of set the scene a little bit, so yeah, they're out in the woods, they have this cabin, they're having a good time for the most part. You see them out on a boat, and they're, hanging out. I think they're even fishing off the boat a little bit, even though they don't show too much of that. And it seems like mostly nice, but it's also like really creepy, and they got like, creepy vibes or whatever. And yeah, the van goes by, and they make eye contact, and then the cult guy's like, I gotta grab that bitch, so they do it.
Well, he goes back, it shows them back in like their Children of the Dawn trailer, and he flips out on this old bitch.
Yeah.
She's trying to please him. He's like, no, like, I need her. Call so-and-so.
Yeah, and he tells Homeboy to get the horn of the...
Abraxius?
Or, yeah, something like that. Get that magic horn. And they go out in the woods, and they blow the horn, and he's like, demon biker dude. So we don't have to, like, go scene by scene, like, the whole thing. So they kidnap her, they fuck Nic Cage up, tie him to a pole. She's, basically resists, even though they, like, trip her out and stuff, and, they, like, force her to do psychedelics. They burn her alive in front of Nic Cage, which is super not cool. Super rude. And, something that kind of bothered me is that they kept Nic Cage alive. Like, they stabbed him, like with the dagger, and he's all like, ow! And then,
You're forgetting about the kidnapping. You gotta get the biker people in there, too.
Oh, yeah, the biker, yeah, the people that are this far, they've seen the movie. So they know. They know what happens. So, yeah, that all happens. So I was kind of bothered by, the fact that they kept Nic Cage alive at all. because they're talking about burning people. He's like, "We'll burn you with fire," and then they burn her with fire, and then they just leave him there. Like they commit fucking
Yeah.
murder right in front of his face, and then
Yeah.
they leave him there alive as a witness. I mean, sure, he'll probably bleed out, but no, might as well burn him, right? Like
It's a pretty big plot hole, and considering that the biker gang's involved, and that it's already been established that they need like blood.
yeah.
They need
So
like
give him as
some
like
kind
a
of
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Yeah, they'll do another favor for you.
Yeah, they could have just sacrificed Nic Cage
Yeah, and that would've
instead of
prevented
the
whole-
fat boy.
Yeah. So I don't like that. I think that's sloppy writing. But they kept him alive, and of course he gets out, and he's all pissed off, and he goes and he like kills them all. An interesting scene, and I actually wanted to look this up. When he gets back to the house, there's like this like cheddar goblin on TV, and I want to know if that's like a real '80s commercial.
Oh, the Cheddar Goblin?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it is.
Oh, wow.
Well, because it was funny because the goblin like pukes out
Are you gonna get
cheese.
feedback if you play that?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I got the volume turned down here, anyways.
So he's on his revenge kick, and he's told that these people are like the result of
This is real.
some bad acid.
Oh wait, no wait. This is from the Mandy panel, so they might have made this
Oh.
commercial.
I was gonna say
For the movie.
I would even find that hard, but it was the '80s, so
Yeah, but this goblin's like puking
He's,
mac
like,
and cheese on these kids,
project-
and they're
he's,
going
like-
yeah.
he's like Linda Blair vomiting like mac and cheese on them.
Is that Exorcist?
Yeah, that's The Exorcist.
Cheddar goblin.
So yeah, he goes on his revenge kill streak, and there's a really badass scene with some chainsaws. There's a chainsaw fight, and he basically works his way up to Jeremiah. He does come across the chemist who presumably made the bad acid that turned these people into like feral demon people, but he spares him. There's a cool tiger, and he gets to Jeremiah.
Yeah, well, you're skipping way ahead.
Oh.
I wanted to point out right after the Cheddar Goblin, my favorite scene of the movie, is when he goes in the bathroom, and he pulls out a bottle of vodka or liquor or something, Everclear.
Yeah, right after Mandy dies, he
And
goes
puts
back
it,
in.
Yeah, he puts it on his wound. He's like, "Rah!" He gets like rage and sad, and he's drinking
Mhm.
and yelling and screaming, and he's in his underpants, and his wiener's kind of hanging out, and it almost looks like he's taking like a really angry poop. Like that to me, like, is like the essence of Nicolas Cage. Like that is
It's
like.
good. It's a good scene, you know.
And there's a lot of good scenes after that because he gets the really good like crazy eyes, and his Nicolas Cage like going like full emotion
Right.
is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, he does. He gives a good performance, especially in the bathroom scene where he's really like you said, he goes from anger to grief to
Yeah.
sorrow back to pain,
Confusion.
Yeah, and plus that bathroom is like it's not my dream bathroom, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah. I put that as the Nic Cage rage scream cry
Crap.
poopy drink.
Poopy drink. Oh, yeah.
I meant to put poopy. The Nic Cage rage scream cry poopy drink scene. And yeah, there's not too much after. I mean, you kind of just said it all. Like, yeah, he catches up with the bikers and stuff, and he takes a hit like of their crazy acid stuff.
Yeah, that's after he does a bunch of fucking blow,
Yeah,
which
and kills a bunch of people.
kills some people.
And at this point, he has a hole in his hand, a hole in his side. He's probably been stabbed a couple times. The guy cuts his favorite shirt. I'm wondering the significance of there's a 44 jersey.
I did read a little bit about this because Mandy's also seen wearing it. She's wearing it when they kidnap her. It's the 44 jersey.
The first thing that popped up is like, buy this shirt. Etsy, Amazon. May have multiple meanings.
Yeah, somebody said it was an homage to somebody.
Mark Twain.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Oh, this is just like random trivia about the movie, which is
Oh,
cool.
that's
We can look into
fun.
this. Let's see. The guy who plays the chemist revealed on Twitter that an early draft of the script, the Tiger Lizzie was a lizard, but he recounted that when he arrived on set, the director said, "Oh, Lizzie's a tiger now." So I guess he kind of tricked him. He's like, "Oh, it's a tiger, not a lizard," which is cool, I guess. Just one day before shooting started, Nic Cage's 14-year marriage came to a sudden end, which was a shocker for me. Didn't see it coming. Those feelings had to go somewhere, so they went into my performance. Shine on, you crazy fucker. Oh, I have a theory about the um, main cult leader guy. I think he got kicked out of a band.
Mm-hmm.
I think he talked about like how he was the golden light and that they shunned him away, and then he probably just did a bunch of drugs and fucking had like crazy fucking personality complex or whatever the fuck, and that's where this whole thing fucking spawns from. Is this one guy that just got kicked out of the band, and now he's like, and it makes sense. He's like weak and he loves sex and he kind of looks like a rock star and he likes to manipulate people, and so that's my theory. The song that he plays in the scene where he tries to seduce Mandy is called Amulet of the Weeping Maze and was released in real life on Bandcamp,
I did think that there are like sorry.
which is kind of interesting, I guess. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was reading this next blurb about the similarities that they make to him and Charles Manson. Manson was in a band. He's a cult leader.
Right.
A relatively popular band. So if he was in this band, it was big enough to make a record. And as anybody who follows crime, murder stuff knows that Manson, he actually like had a chance there for a while. He's crashed it. Is it the guy from the Monkees or the guy from the what's the band I was listening to earlier?
I don't remember.
His name's Brian something.
Yeah, but yeah, Charles Manson was a musician.
You know he was, but he also crashed it. God, what is that guy's name?
What do you mean he crashed it?
He crashed it like that. He was not the Monkees. What's the other one? The other band from that time. I was
Like
literally
he crashed a car?
no, his house. Like he crashed with him.
Oh, he stayed at someone's house.
Yeah, sorry. Like, so what's like? Not the Monkees, but they had that guy named Brian. You know the name.
Brian Wilson from the Beach
Brian
Boys?
Wilson from the Beach Boys. He crashed with him for a while. Like, hung out with him until they all got like so weirded out that they did kick him out, but he was trying to get big on his record.
Oh yeah.
So and then he
Charles
felt
Manson.
extreme rejection.
And he like manipulated people with acid and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that was like before his like really cult days. So there's some similarities there between somebody getting kicked out of a band, feeling super rejected, starting a cult, you know. Obviously he was sleeping with all these women, as we find out later, but that's already kind of a given.
Oh, Nic Cage's character was Red in this.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. You know, I wrote a movie. I didn't write the full script, but I wrote like most of it. And the main character was Red.
I remember you telling me that.
Mm-hmm. It was Redemption, but everyone just calls him Red. The number 44 on his shirt may have multiple meanings, which means no one knows. A reference to Mark Twain's unfinished novel, The Mysterious Stranger, where a supernatural character called Number 44 appears and uses his supernatural powers to expose the futility of mankind's existence. I don't think that's it. New York Yankees Reggie Jackson, who's famous for hitting 3 straight home runs in '77, which I'm still not seeing a connection to that. And serial killer, that guy who is also known as the Son of Sam and the 40... No, none of those make sense to me. That's just making shit up. But I do think it's interesting, like, why'd they choose 44? Like, why they...
Yeah, and she wears the shirt in the film, and he wears the shirt in the film. And in the final scene, which we'll get to, she's also wearing the shirt. So it does have some significance. But we'll get to that.
I would think. I mean, I don't know. Oh, yeah. While the beginning of the film features the standard cast, filmmakers, crews, and credits, the title card does not appear until about an hour and 15 minutes into the film. So this film has the intro is longer than the film itself. Like the
Yeah.
setup. The setup is like
I think that's part of what makes it such a good movie because like you could do like a short scene like
it's
10
almost
minutes
it's almost like two
where
different movies.
it is. And it is really interesting too. Like it is almost two movies. But I think you know, you have some character development there that makes you kind of you know see that he's really attached to this person. He almost views her as like an angel or something otherworldly.
Well, not only that, but I think it also appeals to two different types of movie goers or watchers. So, like for me, the first half was really boring and slow and uninteresting. I mean, it was
I
like
could tell you were bored.
yeah, like I was watching this being like okay, like this is not Nick Cage's like best movie ever. Um, but I mean, it was artistic and all that, which I'm sure you appreciated. Like a
I
film,
liked the
you
first half.
yeah. So like I think that it's cool that it kind of reaches out to multiple
Hmm.
audiences. So like the first half kind of reaches out more to you, whereas the second half reaches out more to me. It's
Don't get me wrong, I love the movie in its entirety.
right, but like I love the over the top gory. Like I don't like gory movies, but if it's over the top to the
Fucking
point where it's
chainsaw
just
fight.
yeah, where it's funny, like that's cool. It's like John Wick. Like it's over the top, just
Oh, I
murder,
love John
murder,
Wick.
murder. Yeah, those movies are
This is
fucking great.
fun.
Yeah, it's cool. Um, so yeah, that's kind of cool how they did that. How they could attract multiple
Hmm.
types of audiences. Like I said, almost like two different movies, but it's all one story. So that's pretty cool. Uh, they live near Crystal Lake, which is where Jason Voorhees killed his victims
That I know
in
I
Friday
did
the 13th.
note that as well.
That's lame. Nicolas Cage had an uncredited screaming coach named David Sellers. Good job, David. You did good. I feel like Nick Cage didn't need a screaming coach, but it worked. I also think it's kind of funny that he mentioned that like his marriage ended the day before he started shooting this movie.
That's wild.
Well, something happened. Uh,
I really like the animations in the second half of the movie that are super metal, super sci-fi. That's mostly depicting Mandy, um,
with
and like
boobs.
with boobs,
Mm-hmm.
um,
What was that?
doing
What was that scene where she rips the soul out of that creature?
well. So if you think back to, at one point in the first part of the movie, it pans to like she's reading it and you hear it narrated by her voice and it's this sci-fi fantasy book about how he reaches in and there was like a green, I can't remember the word they use, ethereal or everlasting or eternal, I think is the word they used, eternal emerald light.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really know how that connects with the movie other than they definitely make a point earlier in the movie when she's reading that to make that cutscene in her on like it looks like another planet, you know, because she's into outer space and she's reaching into like this dragon heart and pulls out like a green, you know, eternal light.
Oh, you think it's like a reference to the book?
I do. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't put a scene like that in there for. Maybe it's just that they could use that cartoon with the dragon where she's pulling out this eternal life, but it's or eternal light. But that's definitely what that's referencing.
Cool.
But yeah, it's all super metal. It's like they're on like another planet, and it's all this cartoons, and she's again, it's outlining like in the whole movie, she's kind of ethereal and otherworldly. Like she comes across this dead fawn,
Sure.
and she's talking about these starlings where you know all the other kids like beat them up, and she's very angelic and otherworldly. Like when she comes out of the lake in the beginning, she doesn't look natural.
No.
And I think that's the point here, you know, it's like Mandy's not, she's supernatural in a way.
The weapon he used is called the Beast. That's the last little piece of trivia.
Oh. Yeah, that thing is cool as fuck.
The tiger roaring at the with the moon in the background, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Very artistic. Almost like a. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was animated, but I mean it was like a CGI or whatever. But it was still really fucking
Yeah.
pretty colors. The moon, tiger. It's fucking metal. Also, he had a tiger shirt on earlier in the movie.
I could see you wearing that shirt.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You should get a tiger one, and I want one that has the 44 on it.
I would, but I already have too many shirts.
Mm.
I'm trying to cut back on shirts.
Okay. What about some sweatpants with a tiger on the butt?
Yeah. I mean, I always like sweatpants. Like, I feel like I'm doing pretty good on sweatpants right now, but I can probably use another pair.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah. And if we do get that, it has to have flames coming up the legs.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we at in the movie now? Like,
pretty much done. Cartoon visions. There's a chainsaw fight.
there's a
which is really
chainsaw
cool.
fight with one of like the wrong turn dudes, which is pretty fucking epic. You know, I like that part a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, like it's awesome.
Kind of reminds me of like the Evil Dead Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell character where he has the chainsaw hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't think the chainsaw hand comes until Army of Darkness, which I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I thought it came.
It's Evil Dead 3 basically.
No, I thought it came in the original Evil Dead.
He had a chainsaw, but he doesn't attach it to his hand until.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but I thought it was an Evil Dead, but I could be wrong. Because, like, the cover of it is him, like, with his fucking chainsaw hand being like...
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that might have been Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2. Because he gets the demon, like, it's inside of him, and he traps it into his hand, and he cuts off his own hand with a chainsaw. And then at some point, he attaches the chainsaw to his nub, and that's like his...
We'll go back and watch it and then do a...
I'm scared to watch this.
I'll be there for you. He was scared going into this one.
This movie wasn't scary.
But after you realized... But at first you were like, I'm scared.
Well, yeah, it was kind of scary. Like at the beginning, it sets it up like it's gonna be like a horror movie, and it ends up being more like a acid action comedy.
It is, yeah.
Kinda.
I don't think it's really funny. I don't think it's meant to be funny in any way. Ridiculous, but I mean, whatever.
We laughed.
Well, yeah. So the ending.
Also, speaking of Evil Dead, there's a point near the end where he's like in their temple or whatever, and he picks up their like book. It reminded me a lot of the Necronomicon, which is in those movies.
That's yeah.
The Book of the Dead. That is, its pages are sewn with human flesh and printed with blood.
I fucking love those movies. So the end of the movie ends with him, you know, he kills all the cult members. He spares Lucy, she's obviously just kind of like one of the Manson girls who was just like, didn't realize she was in over her head. Mm-hmm. She's just a young girl. She obviously doesn't want to be there, and he spares her life. And then he finds his way to...
I mean, that poor girl fucking Russian roulettes herself. Ooh. Fucking...
Well, what choice did she have?
She didn't.
I mean, if she didn't do it, she was gonna die.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, he cuts the old bitch's head off. She's like, I'll please you like no other woman's pleased you. And he's like, fuck you, you old raggedy bitch. Cuts off her head, throws it. What?
Yeah, I like your take. That's good.
Yeah, it cuts off her head, like,
bitch.
Comes into, like, this, like, alcove-like place. It's like a room with only one entrance and exit to Jeremiah, who, is he naked in that part?
He's wearing, like, shorts.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, he's like, I'm your God, I have the light within me, all this fucking religious jargon, and Nic Cage is having absolutely fucking none of it.
I actually kind of like how he tries multiple angles to save his ass. So at first he's like, being like, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Like, stay away from me. You can't touch me." But then he realizes that he's coming closer, and he's like, "Oh, well, I can save you. I'll do whatever you want." And he sees that that doesn't work,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, well, I'll suck your dick." And then
Like,
that
I
doesn't
love
work.
how that's just, he's like, I'll suck your cock, like, I'll suck your dick if you want, like,
But then he sees that
no.
doesn't work, and then he turns back to anger again. And like, I like how he's like trying to sort of weasel his way out, but then also realizing that he can't, and he keeps like trying different angles, and each time he's just like,
Well, if you notice, it's like they both orgasm in the end. Like, it
mm,
really seems like, and I read that on, when I was, like, right before this, I did, like, a 10-minute, like, read-through of some, like, articles about it. But a lot of people think that, like, because of the effects of that gnarly acid, they love pain now,
mhm.
um, that he orgasms and Nic Cage does, too. It's like, you hear him being like,
I don't feel like the cult guy orgasms, but Nick Cage definitely does.
yeah, Nic Cage definitely does. And in the end, like, you really don't hear Nic Cage say anything from in part two at all. I don't think he speaks once until this point where he's crushing this dude. He's fucking like crushing his skull with his hands, and then when he does talk, he sounds like
Well,
real.
he talks throughout the movie, like when the guy rips his shirt, he's like, "You
Oh
ripped, that's
yeah,
my
he's like,
favorite
that's my
shirt."
favorite shirt. You're right.
And
You're
then he
right.
also calls him like a sissy bitch or something like that. Like he's like you. Well, he's like you're a one brutal like sissy faggot, and then he fucks him up.
Yeah,
So he has some dialogue.
very few. But then at the end, I can't remember his line, but it's like when he's killing that dude or right after, he says something and his voice is like really distorted.
Oh yeah, he says, "I'm your god now,"
That's it. Yeah, that's he's, but it's not like Nic Cage voice.
and then he
It's,
comes on his face and
yeah.
explodes it with his hands. And his
Yeah.
eyeball pops out, which is really
Oh,
cool.
that part was
It kind
awesome.
of reminds me of Glenn from Walking Dead. Did you ever see
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah, he got Glenned, but with bare hands. Bare hand Glended, and then
Yeah.
jizzed on his fucking dead fucking
Um,
skull face.
and then the movie ends with him getting into an old station wagon and taking off, and then he kind of flashes back to what I assume is maybe where he first met Mandy, and they're both wearing the 44 shirt.
Mm.
And she's like, he's hallucinating her in the car, like smoking a cigarette, but she's not really there, and it just kind of shows him
I
driving
don't know.
off.
Maybe she is though.
Well, and then they're in, this place that's got like two planets, and it's that kind of like.
He's stripping balls at
Oh
this
yeah,
point
he's
because not
stripping.
only from all of his multiple wounds that he sustained, so blood loss, the adrenaline, killing a bunch of people, doing the whole thing,
Yeah.
having an awesome fucking climax at the end, and then doing all sorts of fucking cocaine and that fucking crazy acid shit. So he is like, whoa, like
Yeah.
so fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like probably even more far gone than Nick Cage is on like a usual Tuesday, you know?
For
Like
sure.
by a lot,
By a lot.
which is like hard to imagine.
So yeah, I guess that's like this our summary.
Yeah, I like to think that while he's driving away, while he's tripping and having all these psychedelic experiences, I feel like I like to think that he dies in the car because he looks over and
I
he
like
sees
that theory.
he sees Mandy there, and it also kind of helps with like I mean I know he's already hallucinating and like on all sorts of shit or whatever, but they say that when you die, DMT is released in your brain, so I feel like he gets all of his closure. He gets to skull fuck a guy to death basically with
He
his
didn't
hand.
skull fuck him. That's something different.
Yeah, but he orgasmed while he crushed a guy's skull in his hands.
Okay.
Close enough. And yeah, I like to think that that was like the climax of his storyline, and I like to think that he like bled out in the car while he was driving away, and then he gets to be back with his Mandy.
He gets to be back with his Mandy, and I mean,
Because he
supporting
can't-
evidence is that it shows it when like it shows the car going down the road. He's obviously not on this planet. It's like another planet.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot because also like it doesn't make sense for Nic Cage in reality to go on living after he's just
Right.
murdered like 10 people.
Yeah.
Crashed to do with like, and plus the love of his life, like he found this.
There's no bouncing back.
There's
from
no
this.
bouncing back. So
Yeah.
I like the thought that he's dead, and I really wish. I know it's silly, but like when he brought up the Willy, have we haven't done Willy's Wonderland, have you?
We haven't done Willy's Wonderland.
I I want to be in on that one, please.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta watch it again.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Willy's Wonderland, if you don't know what we're talking about, is like a really badass Nic Cage movie that came out like a year ago, I think. It's really cool. And yeah, I was telling her that it's like how badass would it be if Red is actually the same character that we see later on
and
in
Willy's
Willy's
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
But the time doesn't add up because this movie's in '83, and as far as we know, Willy's Wonderland is set in the 2020s.
Yeah, we don't. Well, at least past 2000. I don't know
Past
exactly.
2000, but they have iPhones and shit in it.
I don't know about iPhones.
And he has that super like it's like a new car.
That's the giveaway for me. Is his car,
the car
is like newish.
And they also talk about also you get the girls like in Willy's Wonderland. She's like in the '90s. This was like a booming place. You know, they mentioned that a couple of different times.
Let's look it up. I'm kind of curious now, like what date.
Which would put Nicolas Cage as Red being way too old versus Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, well, Willy's Wonderland doesn't look like it takes place in the 2020s.
I think it does.
Well, I think the movie was made in 2019 or maybe 2020. I don't remember.
I mean, but you know what I mean.
No, it says 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's see what date it takes place. Date. Willy's Wonderland take place.
Yeah. So while you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and rate Mandy as definitely top 3 Nic Cage films. I give it 10 out of 10. I love it.
As a film? So we do 2 ratings in this show. We do the film rating and then we do a Nicolas Cage performance rating. So your film rating.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Is that the 10 out of 10?
Yeah, the movie is a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I love the acid horror. They do a pretty good job depicting on like what it kind of looks like when you're tripping, which is something a lot of like movies get wrong as far as like the way like the tracers that are there and the colors are changing. I like that.
I don't see what year Willy's Wonderland takes place. Doesn't really say.
Oh, somebody joined.
Oh, what's up?
Hi.
Studleyham. You were here last week, I think, when we did Raising Arizona, right? There's a little bit of a delay, so it takes him a second to be able to answer. In fact, Studley, I'm pretty sure that was you. Yeah, I owe you an apology. We told you that we would be here Wednesday next week. We had it on the schedule. I was actually sick. Like, I got really sick, and I couldn't do it. So, sorry. And in fact, I wanted to get up, like, that day, and I know, I'm sorry, dude. I wanted to get up that day and do a video being like, hey, I'm sick, like, I'm sorry, like, I can't do it right now, but honestly, I was so shitty that, like, I just laid in bed all day, like, I couldn't get up.
Yeah, you're really sick.
Yeah, I bounced back, though. I feel great now. So, yeah, sorry about that, and that's why we're actually doing this episode now, because this was to make up for it. Elijah was actually supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it. He had some family stuff or whatever, but and we are gonna do that movie that you wanted us to do. Can you remind me the name of it? We have looked into it, and I read the summary of it where it's like Nic Cage and he like goes to hell, and they like get his daughter, and he has to like come back from hell. And then the devil like wants to like take over like the earth or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You recommended it to us, and we really can't wait to fucking watch this one. Yeah.
So we're talking about the movie Mandy tonight.
Yeah. So we will do that. Sorry, we're gonna do that one on Wednesday. Yeah. So we have that on schedule. So we're gonna keep going. This will be a weekly thing. So again, sorry that we missed you on that. This is like the one guy's like, yeah, I'll be there next week.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we didn't do it, and I felt like you'd probably never come back again. Studley, we're about to wrap up, so I guess you can go back and watch it if you want to. But have you seen Mandy? Do you have any thoughts about it? Is there anything that you think about the movie Mandy if you've seen it? Do you like corn dogs?
I love corn dogs.
You like corn dogs? Ah.
Yeah.
You missed it. She ate her corn dog. It was really
I
dope.
did.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking delicious, man.
Yeah, with
Aldi
mustard.
really, I mean, it's not like a fair, like, carnival corn dog.
Probably better.
No. But it was pretty good. It was a good corn dog.
Didn't see it. Okay, well then it's probably good that you didn't watch this episode because there's like all sorts of spoilers. We were actually just rating it. You rated it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, as a film, I give it 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite Nic Cage movies. One of my favorite movies from the past, like, 5 years that's come out. I think the direction's good. The plot is good. It's fun. It's different. 10 out of 10. And what's the other one? Nic Cage's acting?
Yeah, so we rated the movie and then you rate Nic Cage's performance separately.
Oh, okay. So separately on his performance, 7.5? No, 8 out of 10. I say 8. Let's round up.
Okay. You like that conspiracy thing I did. Which one was that? That might have been with Ruby, who's helping us set up the D&D campaign. Yeah, we do the truth hour, or that might have been with Tim. I did one with Tim. I think he saw the one with Ruby. Yeah, we hadn't figured out the screen thing yet on that, so I didn't see your comments on that. I saw it later, and I again felt bad. We're like neglecting you as a fan, but we're getting better. We're doing it. We do the truth hour every Monday at 3:30 now. Me and my buddy Tim do that. And we'll try to maybe squeeze in an evening one as well, but we haven't worked out that schedule yet. So you, 10 out of 10.
Leaving me out of the truth hour.
I said we're gonna organize a evening one. We will get
8
together.
8 out of 10 for Nic Cage's performance.
Okay, 10 out of 10 for the movie. 8 out of 10 for Nic Cage's performance. The movie as a whole, I was not a fan of the first half of it, which I don't want to say too much now because Studley Ham has not seen it. I thought it was a slow burner on the first half, and it loses some points for that. The artistic quality was kind of cool. I got scared. I don't like being scared. But then it gets a lot better. The second half of the movie is amazing. I'm going to give the movie as a whole like 8.5 out of 10. And then the Nic Cage performance will have to be... I want to give him a 10 out of 10, but again, the first half of the movie, he doesn't actually really do anything.
So you can't rate it. I mean, he's barely in the first half.
I want to give him 10 out of 10 for... I will give him 10 out of 10 because it's not his fault that the first half of the movie was kind of boring. But when he gets to perform, he goes all out. And the bathroom scene...
Bathroom scene seals it.
Yeah, I mean, the bathroom scene, it's like... And then you get lots of Psycho, Cage, and full... And again, without too many spoilers for Studley Ham here, you get to see, like, the full spectrum
like
of
Crazy
Cage.
Eyes. Like,
oh, yeah, you get
Crazy Eyes, Nic Cage.
Yeah.
Without spoilers, like, covered in blood, like, just like, rah.
Dude, he gets in a chainsaw fight with a guy. Like, you gotta watch this movie. It's fucking cool. So what did I say, like 8.5 out of 10 as a movie, and like 10 out of 10 for Cage. We kind of had opposites.
We did.
But,
yeah.
You know, but still good.
It's a great movie.
Still high ranking for the movie and for all that stuff. So yeah. Drive Angry.
Drive Angry, Season of the Witch. I feel like I've seen Season of the Witch before, but it's been like a long, long time.
Yeah, we'll look into those. Drive Angry is going to be the next one that we do on Wednesday. And we'll look into Season of the Witch, see how that's going to go. We want to do Willy's Wonderland, which if you've not seen that one, you've got to see
Oh
Willy's
my gosh,
Wonderland.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a new one. So yeah, we're pretty much done. Studley Ham, we actually just set up a Discord channel, so maybe after this I'll shoot you a message. I'll give you the link to that. So you can kind of figure, we'll be posting up all of our, show times, and if you just want to talk to us or whatever, we have a chat on there. It's all public, it's free, it's open, all that stuff. So thanks for coming back. Sorry I missed you. Go watch Mandy. It's fucking dope.
Great movie.
And to the rest of yous out there in the internet, Yeah, stay good. Keep watching the Nicolas Cage movies. Anything you want to add?
No,
Closing thoughts?
no. I mean, Mandy's amazing. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think. Do you
Yeah.
agree with our 10 out of 10 for acting and 10, our ratings for how the movie was? Let us know.
Sweet. Thanks, y'all. Stay good. See you, Studleyham. Have a good night.